Y'all ready? Okay. Guys, we're back after like 2 months. All-purpose podcast. We're back. I'm here with my co-host and my colleague, starting from my left.
Damn, you started to your right. My name is Lahman, but we are Muslims, so start with your right.
I should have followed the sunnah. I apologize.
Lahman is the same usual person, man. I ain't changed in 2 months.
My name is Mohammed, guys.
Yeah, my name is Hamza Bashir. Welcome. It's been 2 months.
It's been a long time.
We're back.
Yeah. But guys, please, before we start, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you drop a comment, and also please share this as well. Thank you very much. So today we're just kind of give you guys talk about what's happened over the past couple months. But before we get to that, let's kind of talk about what's been going on in our lives, guys. Does anyone want to start?
I'll start. First of all, thank you guys for showing love to us on all platforms. We appreciate it. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend
To tell a
tell
third
another friend.
Yeah.
Feel me?
You need that word of mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. So first of all, it's been tough times these past 2 months. We took a 2-month hiatus because of COVID-19 was happening. We had to do social distancing and all. Nobody's immune yet, so we're still taking precautions. We sanitize here and there.
Yes.
We check our temperatures. Everything's good. Corona hit my family, actually, one of my siblings. But he's a big man, so the guy's good now.
Survive. He's good. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah is good. And I want to send out condolences to anybody that was affected by this pandemic.
Yeah, 100%.
To anyone that was affected. And hopefully we bounce back in a very positive way. So that's all's been happening to me. We upgraded our podcast.
Yeah.
We've got a 3-camera setup now.
This is insane.
Say hi to all 3 cameras.
Hello. No. The setup is wonderful. Hamza's done a great job. And just like you mentioned, in regards to the last few months, we've been social distancing. What's crazy about it all was that I actually filled my tank end of March before my job said, we're no longer working on campus. So I filled my tank end of March, and I didn't start driving it until early May. And I still had a full tank of gas. The rest of my car was kind of messed up, though, it was unfortunately. But besides that, man, I've just really been focusing on school. I'm still doing my master's program now.
You're a professional Call of Duty player, man.
Dude, Rahman and I, we play Call of Duty all the time. Pro clubs as well. So if anyone wants to challenge this, y'all know.
I feel hurt for not getting invited, bro.
Yeah. Hamza,
do you own a system?
Even though I don't own one, this man
plays on a Sega Dreamcast and a Nintendo 64. Get out of here, bro. This is not 1996, dog. Nah, but besides that, all has been well with me, alhamdulillah. But yeah, definitely like Hamza said, prayers out to those individuals affected by COVID-19 or, those who've lost family members. We can imagine how devastating that was. So yeah, prayers up to them.
Yeah, man. The same thing. Like last 2 months, I had an aunt who passed away of COVID. She was in a retirement home, and she passed away in the home. It was like mad, like sudden to everyone because my other aunt talked to her like at 12, and then like at 1:30 she was pronounced dead. It was like sudden.
That really surprised me.
Allah yarham, bro.
Yeah, I mean.
Everything else I've just been like balling, and I've just been staying home trying to make sure I don't get my mom sick.
Yeah.
And a couple of our friends, we got some really close friends, and like Hamza's brother who also got COVID. So a lot of close people to us who got COVID. So it was real. So all the jokes we had, all the insensitive jokes we had, like a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After the aftermath, it's still going on right now. We are like more sensitive and more aware of how serious it is, and
100%.
A lot's happened since then. With the global pandemic that is going on, there's also obviously in recent times you've seen what happened here in the U.S. In regards to kind of the systemic racial injustice that's going on, that's been going on for hundreds of years, and also with a lot of the protests that are going on now due to some of the deaths over the last month, and the one that really kind of took it over the edge was the death of George Floyd, who was in Minnesota, and that was because of an officer by the name of Officer Chauvin, or Derek Chauvin, who essentially put his knee on the back of George Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes. And the last 2 minutes, George Floyd was actually unresponsive. And when you see something like that, so blatant, right in your face, and the rest of the officers just kind of standing there. One's kind of watching, making sure no one approaches, and the other two are holding them down. It's an absolute shame, and this is something that should never happen. It's obviously very tough to kind of speak on it. We're black men here. We see some of the things that are going on, and we've also had our own experiences in regards to some of this racial injustice. So we just kind of want to talk about it a little bit for those who may not know. Obviously, we're not as educated as some individuals are on this topic. So we're definitely going to make sure we obviously are kind of aware of what we say. We don't want to say anything incorrect. But just to kind of start, I'd like to ask you guys, when you guys, especially everything that's going on in social media and everything that's going on in the news, where this is constantly being replayed. Like, what are your thoughts? When you see this.
I don't know. I've been an American since I was 96. Since 96, I was born in Kenya. Came here when I was 3. Yeah. So basically my whole life I've been here. You know what I mean? And racism is something I've witnessed. You know what I mean? I've been a black man since 1996. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was born with it. You know what I mean? And racism is it's in my face. It's everywhere we are. You know what I mean? We're in a country where it's only 13% black. You know what I mean? And we figured out a stat a couple days ago about how the Ohio has the most by percentage the most deaths by police towards African American, and it's just like
that's crazy.
Damn, it's just like. It's sickening, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And then this is not just now. It's not just happened it started with George Floyd. It started back when they killed Martin Luther King. It started a long time ago, man. It started slavery.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy stuff. Like, I was watching this video of this one female lady who was teaching her class. I forgot her name, and she was talking about when they brought the slaves to the United States, they didn't just round up the dumbest slaves and be like, we want your dumbest people, the people who aren't going to do anything for us. We want those. Nah, they grabbed the smartest and the brightest and the strongest, and then they brought them to America and told them that they're the dumbest and they're the weakest and they're the most insignificant people. So they just fucked up a whole generation, like back when they brought the slaves here.
Hundreds of years ago.
And that's still going on now when they're still trying to take family members away from family. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So first of all, condolences to the family of George Floyd, and anybody that was actually affected by this. For every video that we've seen of police brutality, it's probably 10 times fold. We've not seen what actually happened.
All right.
And what we're actually fighting, it's easy just to break things down, right? As a kid, for example, you ever seen the doll test? Where they say exactly. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, we're gonna make sure to put a link in this in what's it called?
Description.
In our channel. Yeah, the description. So what you're fighting is human beings, but just the complexion of our skin, right? So we're Muslims, right?
Right.
What we believe is when God was creating Adam, He went to different sections and got clays from sand from different areas to bring them together. That's why you have white. That's why you have black. That's why you have every type of race. So that's what Adam was made out of. And when you limit someone based on their skin color, just shows how much of a mentality that you have, And George Floyd is an example. This was a straw that broke the camel's back. I work downtown. I work security. I actually work in one of the governor's offices. I actually work there. And every day I see people protesting out there, noon, every day consistently. And I'm actually that empowers me more and more to see hey, they're actually going out there to change something. And for you to socially, for you to just show injustice because I'm black, it's not fair.
Right.
So this is hit home.
Yeah. And like you guys mentioned, in regards to not only the doll test, but kind of something that's kind of that we see on an everyday basis. Growing up, when we're kids, when teachers are saying, well, you can't amount to anything, well, you're not going to be a nobody, and so on and so forth. And so many individuals always come out and they always say, oh yeah, well, if you look at Columbus public schools, they have the most number of black people. They also get the most money from the state, and so on and so forth. But if you look at a lot of these schools, it's just a list of things that happens that just kind of makes it tough for the black person to succeed, for in regards to the quality of teachers that they're hiring on, in regards to the kind of the quality of books and if just kind of tools that these individuals, that these students, that these children need to use to try and better their future. And so this has happened countless times, as you guys mentioned. Just since George Floyd's death on May 25th, there's been 29 police shootings since then. And we're now in June 6th. So that goes to show you in the short period of time, what's still happening. Like Hamza mentioned, the unknown. So many people, I'm sure, have died due to police brutality that was never recorded, that, was probably considered a clean shoot, and so on and so forth. And it's terrible. And one of the things that I kind of want to talk about to start is there's currently legislation actually in Congress called the Qualified Immunity Act. And just to kind of give you guys an explanation of this legislation, it's essentially I'm sorry. So this legislation essentially gives the police officers or any government official like they aren't liable to get sued by civilians or in civil lawsuits. So even when some of these police brutality is happening and so on and so forth, the families of the victims can't even go out and actually sue some of these public officials, some of these police officers of what's happening, which is an absolute shame. So that's currently in Congress right now, and hopefully that's something that passes, because this is something that should have been gone for a long time, and it was gone when the Civil Rights Act was passed. But in about 1980, there was Harlow versus Fitzgerald, I believe, as well was the case that went to the Supreme Court, and since then that's been enacted. That's been in a law, unfortunately. So. There's also a couple of things I want to kind of talk to you guys about that I'm sure you guys have seen over the last couple of days. And one of the things that I want to get your thoughts on is our commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. What were your thoughts on some of his tweets? And what do you think he should be doing at this time to try and improve the situation?
So it's first of all, the Mr. 45. I don't want to say his name, right?
Yeah.
So what we have, my quarterback Drew Brees came out. I'm a Saints fan, so Drew Brees came out and said, some hurtful stuff, based out of ignorance is essentially what it was. So he got educated by his teammates. He truly understood, like, hey, that just shows you that anybody can amount to change. So, and then Donald Trump tweets out, says, Drew Brees should have stuck to his original statement. Whereas Drew Brees said, when people are kneeling, they're not kneeling for the flag. They're actually kneeling for police brutality. And now if you think about it, even when you kneel for the flag, in World War II, everybody say my grandfather fought in World War II, but guess what? There was black people in there with you. But the question is, there was actually segregation within the military. And this whole thing people are fighting is, let's dumb it down a little bit, right? So imagine you have a tree, right? You have a brand new, like a large tree. And that tree is gaining all the sunlight, and there's little trees underneath it that are actually not getting the same nutrients. That's what we are. That's essentially the black person here. We're not just fighting police brutality. We're just fighting inequality everywhere.
100%.
Everywhere that it comes to hiring process, getting interviewed for your jobs, getting the police stopping you in any way, having conversations, going down. People are afraid to go to Southern America, Mississippi and company. Yeah. People can't go there because they're actually afraid. People actually getting lynched today. I actually see a newspaper. I'm put the link in the description. That a black guy got lynched, was it like 2-3 months ago, and he still continued going on. And for us, if Donald Trump gets elected again, it's on us. We cannot blame him. It's on us.
100%.
If we do not go out and vote, we're supposed to be active voters. And for my community, I'm Somali community, people say, oh my God, I don't care about that. But guess what? You live here. Your kids go to school here. So for you to treat this as a second home, rather than your primary home, we have to go there and make changes. These elected officials are not actually doing anything for us. We put them in the position. So we can't be like, go protest at them and not vote for when it comes to general election in November.
100%.
We have to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
How can we hold them accountable? Use our power of voice.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Trump is just, I don't know. This guy, he is who we thought he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be, I don't know. it's hard to change an old dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trump was what 60 something,
70s.
going to
Yeah.
70 something. You know what I mean? I don't think, and he's got to where he was through his own like his own ignorance and his
Yeah.
own like. You gotta give him credit where he is now. He's a president of the United States. You know what I mean? He has his own mindset of stuff. So people yelling at him, which is ridiculous, who he sees as inferior to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not going to change his mindset. You know what I mean? He's going to still be that ignorant, goofy president that we have. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
And you know what? The one thing they said is, if you don't think, one person, I don't know where I found it, he said, if you don't think Donald Trump is racist, try going to a public place or a school and say what he says out loud and see what people are going to say.
Yeah.
Like he says, look at my black African American friend over there. Like, just because you have, like the biggest things when you see a racist, the first thing he says, I have black friends.
Yeah.
That doesn't show you're not racist. You have the ability to talk to somebody, but deep down inside your heart, you got the hatred. And for you to actually, what bothers me is like, people hate people. I get it. It's built in us. But for you to hate me because I'm a darker skin complexion than you are, it's just, it make it make sense. You know what I mean?
It's this Trump, as I don't know, man. I feel like it's too late for us to expect anything from Trump.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as us people, like you said, as Hamza said, vote. You know what I mean? Go out there and make a change. Go vote.
Yeah.
Protesting is needed that we have outside, going outside of our homes and our cities right now, and everywhere in the United States. They're even protesting in European countries. You know what I mean?
It's all over the
bigger,
world.
It's all over the world.
Yeah.
This is bigger than just America. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is just people all over the world. You know what I mean? If you want to make a change, you make a change by letting your voice heard. And in America, letting your voice heard is by voting, making and coming together as people and voting as people. You know what I mean? If you want to make a change, you gotta vote.
And one thing that you guys mentioned was that we're always, going to be down a peg to society, to the system, and so on and so forth, because of our dark skin, because of our black and brown skin. And it's a shame, because no matter where you look in the world, whether it's in Brazil, or if you look in Latin America, or if you head over out to West Africa, or if you go to China, no matter where you go, so many individuals have brainwashed a lot of the black and brown people to start using lightening cream, start using some of this cream to try and make themselves lighter. Because why? White is beautiful, right? That's what they're trying to indoctrinate, and that's what they're trying to put in the minds of these individuals. And it's a shame that we have to go to these lengths just to try and please the white man, or please, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's an absolute shame.
So what's the greatest? So the greatest power is let's say when a nation wants to infiltrate a nation, not through military, but how do they do that? It's through culture, right? So they show you K-pop right now is popular in America.
Yeah.
You have food spots and you have your culture, your music. That's what it's doing right now. So the idea of what is Hollywood? Hollywood is selling you a dream, right? The Barbie doll. Why does every person want the white Barbie doll? Because they told you, hey, if you get this Barbie doll, she's the cool one. She has bleach blonde hair with blue eyes. She's the cool one. So the dark-skinned girl runs around with some that she can't even identify herself, because you know why? There's no representation for her in the media that we have.
Yeah.
So for example, even in the hiring process in movies today, you look at it, there was a time, I think it was 2012 when Chris Rock was hosting it. Your twin. When he was hosting it, there's not a single.
He just didn't stick that in.
Yeah. There was not a single black nominee.
Yeah.
Why is that? Harvey Weinstein. What is it? We know what he did.
Yeah.
It's it goes deeper. So my whole thing is, when Malcolm X said, "Who taught you to hate your nose? Who taught you to hate your lips? Who taught you to hate the skin that you bleach and make your hair softer than it is?" If today Hollywood was in America, guess what white people would do today? They would try to have curls.
Yeah, 100%.
They'll try to tan themselves outside, right?
Which is why, as you see, Tyler Perry made his own kind of Hollywood studio, or his own kind of production in Atlanta, to give a lot of these black actors, black producers, black directors a chance, an opportunity to show their skill, because it's not being utilized, and they're not being given any of these roles or any of these positions, unfortunately. And that's the same thing if we even head over to the NFL. What's happening in the NFL?
So
70% of the players in the NFL are black players.
Yeah.
But you're telling me there's only 4 black head coaches, right? There's even few GMs that are black. and even owners. There's no black owners.
The only. So can I get into the NFL first? We're big football fans.
Yeah.
We're consumers of this product, right? That's why it's out there. And if when it comes to sports in America, NFL reigns supreme. It's king. And so let's come back to the stats. There's 70% players. There's only 31 owners. Green Bay is not owned. It's not owned by people. Right. There's one owner that's not white, and he's an Asian owner. I forgot his nationality. He owns Fulham United, I think. So for you to tell me that all these people forget ownership, right? For ownership, ownership have to come together. The commissioner for you to own. This is like the NFL. Hey, I own a team.
Correct.
You know, it's like the bragging rights.
Yeah.
So it's now you look at the coaching. This is what bothers me the most is the fact that Jeff Fisher. I actually wanted to tweet this, but it became so long. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just say in this podcast.
Yeah.
The fact that Jeff Fisher coached the Rams, the St. Louis Rams at the time.
Correct, yeah.
To 7-9, 3 consecutive years, and he still had a job. Where Todd Bowles, coach for the New York Jets, dysfunction. He was thrown in there, faced Bill Belichick twice in that hard AFC conference, and he has yet to get an official job. You look at the guy from. You go to the NBA. NBA is much more player spoken because it's star driven.
Yeah.
If LeBron does not want to play, your ratings go down. As opposed to NFL where it's organizations. Well, I'll show you. Guess what? Kaepernick. If Kaepernick was playing basketball today, he was a basketball player, said that, she would still have a job today. What are you doing?
Yeah, 100%.
100% today, Kaepernick would be pulling jump shots right now. But the fact that it's NFL, it shows you, hey, guess what? We rule this.
And also in regards to the NFL, that's one thing they didn't do when Roger Goodell gave his statement.
Yeah.
They never apologized.
No. I don't think it's a legal reason why he can't apologize to Kaepernick.
You're saying it's a legal reason.
Yeah, because they had that whole lawsuit where Kaepernick where he had that lawsuit against the NFL where he was talking about how the NFL was targeting him. If they go now and say that, a public apology, then they lose that lawsuit that they have Kaepernick, that they paid Kaepernick out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a legal reason why they can't.
Supposedly he secured the bag, but it's still an absolute shame that he could start for some teams right now.
100%.
Yeah.
There is no reason why Jared Goff should be starting over Kaepernick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And another thing is, because we're talking about the NFL and Drew Brees' statement is when Drew Brees comes out and, the first thing he says is it's disrespectful for those individuals to not stand for the national anthem, right?
Yeah.
For not to disrespect the flag. And since then, his PR team has done a fantastic job.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? His PR team, they're getting paid what they're worth right now. But for Drew Brees to say that initially, man, that was his true belief at that time.
Oh, 100%.
You can't, and it's like, and should he be forgiven that easily?
No.
So
the things I'm
disappointed at his teammates for forgiving him that easily.
Yeah, 100%.
True. And not only that, I like the back. First, I'm a Saints fan. That hurt. But at the same time, you have to understand your first words are your dignity, right?
Yeah.
You can easily sugarcoat. Hindsight is 20/20, man.
Your first words are the words you thought of when you were sitting alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what you're thinking about when you're sitting alone when no one's telling you to do something.
Yeah.
And when he flipped it, it made no sense to me. I don't care. Do what you want to do.
But the thing is, it's how the PR, exactly how they play. They say his PR team is Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas on the back corner. That's what they said his PR team was. But the positive spin to this thing, it just shows me is anybody can be educated to something. The question is, are you hard enough to accept it, or are you hard enough to just say no? Which is the Donald, our president. Drew Brees said some dumb shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hurt, of course.
Yeah. And also in regards to kind of to piggyback off that, let's talk about Laura Ingraham, right? She is on Fox News. She's a correspondent on Fox News, and a few years ago, LeBron and Kevin Durant are in there. They're kind of talking about system, so on and so forth. And she says, "You should shut up and dribble."
Right.
But as soon as Drew Brees kind of gives his thoughts, what does she do?
She said,
he's an American. He should have a voice.
He should have a voice. He should have his thoughts. So we even see this in media now. You know what I mean? So no matter where you turn,
bunch of idiots.
Can I say something, man? So why are we getting enraged with what's the lady's name? Laura Ingraham.
Yeah.
All right. So why does gold have value today? Why is gold so expensive?
Why?
Because we said gold is expensive. We said, you know what, that thing's valuable. I want it. And guess what? The more you want it, the more stock it becomes high, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why these media people have that much power is because we give them that power, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You ever seen that little cartoon that says the grasshoppers versus the ants? He said, if these ants realize that there's 10 of them for each one of us, we will be destroyed. The media members, the thing is, we've given them power. Fox News, oh my God, I'm listening to Fox News today. We're giving them value is what we're doing, right? In anything, even the National Football League. Why is the National Football League watched, it had over 500 million views on the Super Bowl. Why? Because we, as the consumers, when they say sports is not nothing without the fans. if we not stopped watching this, would we stop boycotting it? Would it be there? Would you have every Sunday night game come into what's it called? Marcus come tell you this is Sunday Night Football. No, is we let these media people have power for us, right? If Fox Sports is reporting their things, why can I not report my own thing with Twitter and Facebook? And that's why Twitter and Facebook and Instagram are getting more and more power and taken away from Fox. The only thing you watch live today is a live pandemic or news report or sports.
Yeah.
That's it. Now what we got to do is take the live news from them and give us a 50-50 media, which is very hard to do.
Yeah. But it's also difficult in regards to kind of, sharing, through social media. There's so much information that is shared on social media.
Credibility.
But exactly, like the credibility. Are some of these things factual? Because so many individuals, they'll come up to me, they'll say, hey, this and this and this. And if you look at it, it's like, well, this doesn't seem like it's true. I don't think this is correct. And we see that all the time. And that's something you have to kind of be wary of. And to kind of talk about that is education. We need to be able to educate ourselves in this time as to what's going on. We need to make sure we're actually taking time to make sure we can back our information up, to make sure we can actually go and show individuals, okay, this is where I got it from. Here are the stats, so on and so forth. And I've seen, little TikTok videos of these young white girls, and they're talking to their parents. And their parents are like, no, there's nothing you can do to change it. You know what I mean? Like, no, black people are what's wrong with society, so on and so forth. And these little white girls, thankfully, they're both educated and they were able to kind of defend themselves or kind of, argue back or debate back with their parents. But if that goes to show you that, how strong of an influence your parents have on you. You know what I mean? They're the ones who essentially raised you. And no matter what, it's even in our own community, even in the own Somali community where we see individuals saying, be careful of the black people, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Are you really? And so you have to understand that I'm going to quote a friend of mine who said this, right? He said, black is a race, not a culture. You have to be able to understand the differences between the two. You and I, we both have black skin. We're dark. We're black people. But our Somali culture is what separates us. It's what kind of defines us of who we are. We have a different language, different history, different religion. But all in all, when they see us on the street, what do they assume? We're black people. And I feel like we need to make sure we're able to understand that. And a lot of individuals are wondering kind of, what can we do to help? Where do we go from here? After protesting ends, what are we supposed to do? And like you guys mentioned earlier, voting. We have to make sure we're able to vote. And actually, if you demand justice and you demand peace, you need to make sure that the individuals representing you are individuals that you voted for, that have the same ideals as you, the same beliefs as you. That's the one thing that we can do. We can also donate. So many of these individuals, so many of these organizations need resources. So you could donate, whether it's food supplies, whether it's, different tools or equipment, or donate your money and let them purchase it on their behalf. You could also volunteer. Volunteering is something that's necessary, that's required. And a lot of these organizations, they don't have the manpower. You know what I mean? So, you have a couple hours available every weekend. Go out, work with them, try and better your community. Because there's only you want to have the big dream. You want to be able to impact the world, but you have to take it one step at a time.
Yeah, you gotta start with your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And after your neighborhood, go to your people around your neighborhood.
It's like the snowball effect. Yeah. You start small and you just grow. You grow.
And the thing is, we're gonna put links to all this donation sites on link in the description.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm gonna make sure to put it up. So make sure you click and share it to everybody else as well.
Yeah.
It's good to be educated.
100%. Yeah. And
you gotta be active. If you want change, you have to make change happen. You know what I mean? You can't just wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this protesting, people are humans. We know how this is gonna work. Protesting is gonna slow down. It's gonna stop. Don't just sit around and be like, don't tweet from your bedroom and be like, what happened to the protesting? What happens now? You know what I mean? What happens now? What happens after the protesting? While the protest is still it's going on. We're telling you guys right now, be active. Go vote.
It's what's important.
Make changes. You know what I mean? Donate your time. You don't have to donate. If you don't have money, then that's fine. Go donate your time. You know what I mean? To a cause that you believe in, that's going to help the people around you. It's going to help you. It's going to help your future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you like you mentioned, you have to think about your future. If we're youth right now, you know what I mean? Maybe one day we'll go out, we'll have our own family, our own children. We need to be able to make sure that, we can make sure that they live the best life and without any of these issues. So something that only takes a couple seconds of your time is signing a petition. a lot of these petitions, once they get the signatures, it actually reaches out and it does make changes. People are thinking, if I sign a petition, what happens? There are so many successful petitions that happen going back from Eric Garner's family to even, making sure a company goes back and actually starts reselling or redistributing cancer, drugs that's required for little kids. There's so much things that happens if you just take your time out and just sign a couple petitions. It's not that hard, guys.
It's open a lot, even court cases that are being
it reopens
now.
a lot of court cases. Exactly.
Shut down.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you can do to help. Everyone has a role. There's no I in team. We need to be, we need to make sure that we're working together, hand in hand, and we're constantly, uplifting each other. And always remember, black is beautiful, guys. So we
just got to change the mentality, man. This
100%.
Mentality. Well, my favorite quote, the greatest American speaker of all time is Malcolm X.
Respect.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
I printed
Rest in
his
heaven.
prints. May Allah have mercy on him, man.
I mean.
He said, what's it called? The day the black man understands and thinks like a black man. That he says that when you fight one black man, you're fighting all black men. When I say men, I'm including women as well. Sorry for that. So when he says when you fight one black man, you're fighting the whole community. And the day that the black men understand, that's like the grasshopper effect. The day that they understand the unity in here. There's how many African Americans in America? The number.
It's 13%. I'm not
13,
sure about
14%.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And for us to not get representation is it's solely on us for voting. That's the biggest thing we can do is we can protest. Yes, by protesting, we see who the bad apples are. You know what I mean? When you put pressure on somebody, they start sweating. They're not ready for the fourth quarter. And that's when you realize, you're not made up for you. I cannot let you represent me and my family. And when you see little kids that say, am I next? Is it going to happen to me? And Steven Jackson is he calls him, George Floyd's twin.
His twin, yeah.
Yeah. He's got his little daughter, George Floyd's daughter, saying, Daddy changed the world. He had to sacrifice his life for them to change the world, essentially.
Yeah.
And they said, why is racism a debate? Changing race, why is it a debate? It's human life you're actually fighting for.
Yeah.
I'm just fighting for me to, when I get pulled over by a cop, I just want to be treated the way you are. Why? When I say you, I mean the white person.
Yeah.
Why am I asking for that? It's supposed to be written. It's a written rule. And for people, the police brutality is coming from crooks that are getting the license to do whatever they want. That's what it is. And it's our fault that they're in that position. Minneapolis is starting to defund the whole police department.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's the power we have. And we have to act on it.
And just, someone shared just the kind of the overall state revenue, the state budget for Ohio. So I took a quick look at it, if you go to the state website, and it goes to show just the hundreds of millions of dollars that actually go into the police. It is absolutely insane how much money is going there. When you have to think about, so much, we could improve on so much more in regards to, we can improve on healthcare here in Ohio.
Yes.
We can improve on education.
Roads.
There's public transportation is something that we can improve on.
Yes.
There's so much that we can fix, but instead all this money is going to the police. And what are they doing? They're taking black lives the entire time. They're being aggressive. And I feel like a lot of the individuals, it's a mindset.
Yeah,
a lot of them, they come out, they're like, all right, well, I have this force. I'm going to use it. Why? They need to be retrained. This is something that it's literally subconsciously, that's how they feel. And even consciously, where they're making sure that they're trying to, show their assertive dominance. They want to make sure that, you can't stop them. What? It's an absolute shame. It's disgusting behavior. And it's not something that we should be seeing, especially in the year 2020. It's been hundreds and hundreds of years, man.
We're supposed to be warned. There's a pandemic going on top of that pandemic.
Yeah.
This is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
We have to make, it's on us now.
Yeah.
The ball's in our court.
100%. We just kind of wanted to share our thoughts on it. If we said anything incorrectly, please let us know. Obviously, like I said, we want to make sure we educate ourselves to the best of our ability. We'd like you guys to do the same as well. Again, guys, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let us know your thoughts. Please drop a comment. That's where we're going. I'm kind of flustering over my words right now. I apologize. But again, guys, stay blessed, stay safe, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Stay black.
Peace.
Peace.